Good morning. So the first thing I want to say, my name is Jonathan Tassini. I'm running for Congress in the 15th Congressional District. And I always believe in coming and bearing gifts. So I have brought a book here that I wrote a year ago with a very subtle title called The Audacity of Greed. And it's inscribed to the Reverend Sharpton and NAN for your leadership and vision for justice for the people. So I want to give that to you. And whatever happens on Tuesday, I hope to come back and talk to you about that book, whether I'm the next congressman or just because I believe, and I've always believed in my entire lifetime, that this is about building a movement. The two things that I am most proudest of in this race is, number one, that I'm a union member. And Democrats in this country, and all politicians, none of them, except when they want the check from the labor movement, come up and say the labor movement, along with the civil rights movement and the women's movement, is the most important movement for social justice in the United States of America. And so it was with great pleasure that I heard Sister Bell talk about her union membership. We must remind people that without the labor movement, there will be no middle class and no justice for people in the America. The second thing that I'm very proud of is that both my parents are immigrants. And if you take together the notion of the labor movement and what it meant to bring immigrants to this country, you bring that together and it speaks about the American dream. Because the labor movement was about bringing justice to people. It meant that people could achieve a decent wage. It meant that people could retire with dignity. It meant that if you were an immigrant to this country, it did not matter. You could achieve the American dream. But in America today, too many people do not believe that the American dream is possible. And there's one reason for that. And nobody is saying the simple fact that we've been robbed. We've been robbed by the big corporations that send our jobs abroad, cut our pensions, and cut our wages. We've been robbed by the greedy people on Wall Street that destroyed our economy, put millions of people out of work, and obliterated trillions of dollars of wealth that hard-working Americans had saved every hour that they had gone to work. We've been robbed by the landlords who want to continue to suck away our income for their profits. Now, I've been campaigning over the last few weeks all across this district. And that has been a great honor, meeting the people in the streets, hearing their stories, but it is also a tragedy. Because the most important thing that I hear, and I heard it just this morning when I was walking the streets this morning before I came here, people come up to you and say, "Can you find me a job? Can you find me a job?" We have the greatest crisis of jobs in America that we've had in my lifetime. Now, you hear a lot of politicians running around talking about tax cuts for businesses, and we got to help business. My question is, when do we start saying, how do we help the people? Because of this crisis, we are pitting people against each other. Teachers pitted against parents because there's not enough money to have decent school system. Workers who are getting decent pensions as government workers are being attacked for those decent pensions by people who don't have them. We have a person running as a Democrat for governor that is essentially promising that he will go after the pensions of state government workers, pensions that those people deserve and have worked hard for to achieve the American dream. That is unconscionable. We have a nation that has the greatest wealth in any nation in human history. And yet we've got the biggest divide between rich and poor in 100 years. 1 in 4 children are on food stamps in America. Now, when I go to Congress, here are the things that I want to do for the people. Raise the minimum wage to $10 an hour right away, because the minimum wage today is a poverty level wage. It's an outrage. Increase Social Security by 15%. We have Democrats talking about cutting Social Security. That's an outrage. We should be increasing Social Security. Now, where is that money going to come from? The number one thing that I want to say, and I have 2 points to wrap up. One is that I am the only candidate in this race who has promised that I will not vote for a single dime for the Afghanistan war. Not a single dime. That money should be spent here at home. And I want to wrap up with this last point. Now, you know, you may be able to see I'm wearing a t-shirt. And it says, New York, a city for all. And it says, we welcome Park 51. All of us, whoever we're running, we must stand up in solidarity with the Muslim community. There is a rise of hatred and intolerance against the people of Islam. We cannot tolerate that. Every single person in this room, every person listening to this program, when the Muslim community is being attacked, that is attack against every one of us. We must stand in solidarity. We must make sure that we have a nation of tolerance. We must make sure that we have a nation that shares the wealth so that the people get what they deserve. Thank you very much.